46. I am Maja. You can find me as sjomajlin on Instagram and Revelry and the YouTubes. Today is, and I'm just leaning over to make sure that I know it for sure, Thursday, July 16th. I bought a hat. I posted it to Instagram just today, saying that I was... what word did I use? I have my phone just out of frame. I was contemplating buying a hat, and I did, so I wanted to show it to you. I bought it from like a regular clothes store, but I quite like it. It's a slouchy hat. It's 100% wool, so it's a good hat. So I just wanted to tell you that. So my mom and I went to Borås today, which is halfway between where I live and Gothenburg. And it is sort of the textile capital of Sweden. So we went to 2 different museums there, and we went to a very, very big fabric store, and we did look at some different things, and it was interesting. It was very interesting. So one of the shows that we did see was a show with embroideries from the 50s and 60s that were amazing, really amazing. And then on that museum as well, they do have this old, well, in the, maybe it was the 1920s or so, they were working on a moor and they found a casket and with a body inside of it, or it used to be a body. So they took it up, and now it is in the museum. The body, or the skeleton, and there is some bits still attached to the skeleton, and other things that they found in the casket. And so they did manage to find big pieces of fabric, woven fabric, that you can see. You can see the parts that had been some sort of jacket or, well, upper body garments. And then there were remnants of hand-knit socks as well. And that is so cool. So those were from the 17th century. And that is amazing. And then we went to another museum and we did look at a show with Lars Wallin's dresses. He is sort of a big name in Sweden anyway. He has designed the most beautiful dresses. I don't know for sure, but I think he might have designed something for someone, like a big red carpet event, like, I don't know, the Oscars or something. I'm not sure, but I think, and his dresses have been on the cover of Elle magazine and on big shows and stuff like that. So it was very interesting to see his designs. Excuse me, that was weird. So my mom and I, we had a day out and it was lovely today. And so now I'm just going back in time to catch up with when I last spoke to you, which was on my birthday. Yesterday I was knitting with my knit group on a cafe in town for like 5 hours or so. We were just sitting there just knitting away on our projects. We had a really good time. The day before that was Tuesday. And then I went to Gothenburg, or Göteborg, with Patrick. We visited Liseberg, which is our the biggest amusement park in Sweden, with, you know, roller coasters and stuff, and I quite like that. However, on Tuesday I don't know, after 3 rides I got sick and almost fainted and I felt really bad. So after that we took it kind of slow, and there were so many people there on Tuesday as well, so the lines were pretty long, and yeah, but we had a good day anyway, and I got a lot of, well, not a lot, but a good chunk of car knitting done as well. And by the way, there is some construction going on outside of my front door, fixing the stairs going up to my apartment, so I can't really do anything about that noise. If it comes across, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then well, that was Tuesday. Monday and Sunday, going back, I didn't really do a whole lot. Saturday we had my nephew 7-year, what do you say, 7-year party? Birthday party. So that was good. And also Saturday evening, when I got home from there, I started working on, so my mom has a friend who, well, she wanted a knit cat, like a stuffy. And so she had asked if she could, you know, if I could make one and she would pay me. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I started working on it on Saturday night. And as it was a stuffy, and I was just making it up as I went. But as it was a stuffy, I wanted to knit it on a very tight gauge so that the fill wouldn't peek through the stitches. So I did knit it on very much too small needles. And so after a while, so I was very tense. So after a while I just felt that my shoulder it didn't feel alright. So I stretched out my arm, and then I realized that it was, you know, something was like going down my arm, like it was tight. And then half my hand and the 2 last fingers were numb and tingly. Not good. So I did put it down, and then I hardly knit. I knit a few stitches on Sunday just to try, and then I did spin. So I've done some spinning. I am not taking part of Tour de Fleece, but I was inspired by the Tour de Fleece spinning, so I've been spinning. However, I've but I've spun singles, and yeah, it's not very much to show you, so I will show you when it's done, when I've spun the rest of the singles and plied it. So yeah, so I didn't knit. I said that I got a lot of knitting time in the car when I went to Gothenburg and back. I didn't knit a whole lot because I was still a bit sore in my arm, and it's still this feels not 100% yet. It's a bit off, but I'm doing good. But that was a bit scary actually. So yeah, it's been a good vacation or staycation, or well, I've been out and about week this week as well. And since we last spoke, I did go on Friday home to my parents, and my brother and his family was there as well, and we celebrated my birthday, and I had a really good time. So I did not just clean my apartment on my birthday, I did some other things as well, and I had a good time. And thank you also very, very much for all your, what do you say? Congratulations? Do you say that? You know what I mean though. Thank you very, very much. I feel as though there was something else that I wanted to remember. Nah, I don't know. I did finish, going into the fiber stuff, I did finish the cats, or actually did 2 of them, because the first one was too small, so I started a larger one. So I did finish the cats, or I don't know if it is a cat and a kitten, or if it's a cat and a mouse. I'll try to insert a picture, but in case I don't manage, I'll just show it to you like this. So it's not... The cats don't have any legs. It's just like a elongated ball with a face, ears, and a tail. Yeah, because. So I did, as I said, I knitted on an extreme tight gauge, so the it's not exactly squishy and cuddly. And then I did stuff it pretty tightly, and I also put black-eyed beans in both of them for some weight. And I gave them to Mom today to give to her friend, and my mom was like, "Oh, they're so pretty, you did good." So yeah, maybe, I don't know. I finished them anyway. I started them and I finished them, which was good. And the tea is way too warm to drink it really, but I'm very thirsty because I just got home from being out and about all day. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, I also finished this. So this is the Linus shawl that I was knitting last week. It's very, I won't be able to get it all in frame. It's very, and I'm obviously showing it to you upside down. It's a very narrow, thin, triangular-ish shaped shawl. You knit it sideways, slanting, you cast on here. And then I was knitting, this is my hand spun, all of it. And when I ran out of this blue, purple, greenish yarn, I did change it to the grey yarn that is also my hand spun. And I just made like 2 garter rows and then this picot bind off. So this is the bind off. My neighbor just opened a window that is never opened. The bind off row is, I don't know what I was saying. So I folded it, you know, over the peak of the triangle, so you can see it's not really symmetrical, but fairly close. I did block it, or I did stretch it a lot when it was wet, so it grew. I'm very happy with it. You can see something happened there. Or is that in frame? Yeah, you can sort of see. With the yarn when I was spinning it, I don't know, it just got thinner. But it doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think it is amazing the way it is. So it is, as I said, it's a very narrow, thin shawl. It's almost more like a scarf that you can wrap around you. As I said, I'm very happy with it. I've been using it a bit. When my shoulder was acting up, I could feel it a bit up in my neck, so I actually wore this to keep warm, to be able to, you know, not to be more tense. So it looks weird, but it's good. It's good. Yeah, and then for my birthday, I had wished for a sock blank. And I told my mom, and she was like, I don't know what that is. And she had no idea. So she asked me, like, can you show me? So I actually ordered. So she had thought it would be something, you know, very expensive. And it's not. It's more expensive than another sock yarn. But it's not, you know, it's not ridiculous. So she was like, oh, well then, order 2. So she wanted one and I wanted one. And I couldn't really decide. I don't know if it was on Etsy or where it was, but it was somewhere online. So I ordered, or I was looking, there were different colors and I couldn't decide. And then I decided on one color and I just ordered 2. Turned out, I'm pretty sure it was a she. She had made, you know, one of each, so she didn't have 2. So then I ordered 2 different ones, and Mom asked me, but which? Mom asked me, but which is which? And I said, I don't know, you tell me. So I sort of knew that I had a sock blank coming, but I didn't know what it would look like. And it looks like this. So it's almost like for a rainbow it's very muted, but it goes through a lot of colors. So obviously I haven't started it yet, but I thought that it would be 2 strands held together so that you can make, you know, 2 socks looking the same. But it's not. It's just one single thread or strand. So I'm thinking, if you fold it in half, and if you think that you'll knit, you know, half of it into one sock and then half the other into another sock, it's one side that you get some blue and green there, and then it's yellow, orange on that side, and the other side will be blue and purple. So they won't even be, you know, fraternal twins. They won't be twins at all. Because I've said before, you know, that I've never tried to match up striping or variegated or whatever socks exactly. I have done, if I do a solid color and then change for the heel and toes or something, I will match it up. But if it's self-striping or anything, I don't match it up. I don't really care about that. So that's kind of why I was thinking that a sock blank would be interesting, because the ones I've seen have been, you know, what do you say, like softly gradiating through the colors. And since you have two strands held together in the sock blank, they will match up, the socks, if you started on the same. But this won't, so I don't know, if maybe I'll make something else, but that sort of destroys the idea of the sock blank. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. So I'm not sure. But I love these colors. I'm happy with the colors. I think it's beautiful. And there is some, like, I mean, I wouldn't want to call it imperfections, but there are some life to it. So we're happy with that. And the one my mom got was more, it was more like hot pink. Not exactly hot pink, but it was warmer in the colors. It was beautiful too. So she said, was that the one you wanted? If we can switch. And I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, and then I also got some other Christmas gifts. Come on. Birthday gifts. Gifts for my birthday. But those were the knitting or yarny related ones. And I don't really know why I went from finished objects to, well, acquisitions. Because I do have works in progress. But I have one more thing to show you that is an acquisition, or, yeah, added to me. So I will do that first, so I have some sort of order. I did receive a package from Zazu Yarns, or Sasu Yarns, or I don't know how it's pronounced, who is Caroline, or Caroline, I believe. She's from the Netherlands. She has a podcast, and I have such a crush on her. She is amazing. Her podcast is Sasu, the same as Sasu Yarns, but it's Sasu Podcast, and her YouTube handle is woolbox in one word, and then she has her Instagram is wool_box, and it's wool, WOL box. She sent me some yarn, and it was beautifully packaged when I got it, and I had to tear it open, as one does. I got 2 minis with little tags on them saying that the color is one of a kind, so I can't really tell you what it is, but it's sort of, I'm thinking like toffee and mint, and they are beautiful, and they are very soft. Yeah, it just says sock yarn mini, so I'm guessing it's fairly regular sock yarn blend. And then, sorry for the noise, she also sent with some Dutch tea. I haven't tried it that is Swedish. I haven't tried it yet, obviously. And then this stroopwafel, or something, a biscuit. So I will have my Dutch tea time later on, but I wanted to show you first, so... And then she sent this yarn. I did unskein it to look at it, and now it looks all wonky as I put it back together. But Caroline, thank you so much. This is so beautiful, and I was a bit out of breath for a while when I opened it, and I kind of am right now as well. So, to show you it looking, well, less wonky on my... because of me. Let me show it to you like this. Like, look at that. I love those darker... It's not really speckled, but it's kind of speckled. And then it's these browns and greens and going through teal, or I don't know, light teal, turquoise somewhere in there. It's just so beautiful, and it's soft. So she has an Etsy store. I'm trying to make this stick together again. Oh, now it looks much less wonky than it did before. Did it say on here? Well, I'm pretty sure she is Woolbox on Etsy. I hope I'm not getting this wrong. If I am, I'll probably, you know, insert a text or link it or whatever. But this is 400 meters for 100 grams, and the colorway is Neptune. The fiber content is 75% merino wool and 25% nylon. So it is a sock yarn. So I'm guessing this minis might be the same. And they sort of, well, they don't go together, but they are equally delicious. And this is just so yummy. So thank you very much for that, Caroline. I love it. I got this yesterday in the mail. So I have, you know, felt it up. But I haven't decided what to make with it yet. Because I will want to make something special. Because this is beautiful. So thank you. I will tell you more when I get to it. So those are... That's what's made its way into my stash this week. Or since last. And then I have some works in progress. I did show you this last week. This is the twined knitting that I've started. I haven't done anything on this week. Because as I said, I filmed on Friday. And then I had my birthday celebration and all of that stuff. And then on Saturday I started knitting those cats. And then my shoulder acted up, what do you say? And then as it felt better, I don't know, maybe it would have been wise, but I'm thinking since that twine knitting with the throwing and twining the yarns is very unusual to me, I'm probably a bit more tense when I'm knitting on it than compared to when I'm knitting, you know, regularly. Like how I usually do it. So in a way, maybe it would have been good to change the way I use my arms, you know. But I didn't. So I didn't work on that. And today is Thursday, so it's I will get back to it though, but I haven't done anything since last week. I am trying to remember if I had started this last week, but I think I did. I think I had. Excuse me. So this is another Linus shawl, the same as the one that I had finished. So Linus it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And it's just a simple garter stitch shawl. But it's simple and easy, and this is greenish. I was gonna say heathery greenish, but I don't know if that's not really what it is though. But it is. I don't know what it's called. I know what it is in Swedish. But if you have a picture and you go into on your phone or on the computer or whatever to, you know, adjust the colors, you can reduce the, and I don't know what it's called in English, but color intensity, I suppose. So it's, I wouldn't say muted, but yeah, you can see, right? Maybe my very yellow t-shirt is throwing the colors a little bit, but it looks pretty much alright. This is size 3 mil needles. I think I've shown you this last time. So now I'm working this row or this side, and it's getting longer. I started, I am a few rows in, or away in my second skein. I don't even know what I say. I usually say skein, right? Of yarn. I have 3. So I'm not halfway through this second, but I'm getting there. So it's cotton, 100% cotton. It's Birgit. 50 grams per ball and 165 grams. And I'm thinking I'll knit, you know, pretty much as long as I've got the yarn, unless it gets huge, but I don't think it will. And then I'm thinking I will do some sort of lace, or you know, what's the word? Some sort of eyelets, something along the border, just to have something. For the other one, I changed yarn, so I changed the color, and then I did this picot bind off. So I will do, you know, sort of the same idea, but something else on this one. And it's coming along, and this is very good for car knitting. I was working on this today, going back from Borås, and this is what I was working on in the car to and from Gothenburg the other day as well. Why do I keep saying Gothenburg? It's Göteborg. Göteborg. Sorry, that was weird. And then that just almost fell over to the floor. Yesterday I started a new shawl. Ooh! I thought to myself, now I will not forget, or I must not forget to look up who the designer was before I sit down to record. And obviously I just did, and now I need to sneeze. And I won't. I just won't. Because I do have this in my library, so I should be able to find it. The shawl I know that I started is called Frozen Leaves. So if you search for it, it's also a free pattern on Ravelry, so if you find it, or if you find it, you'll search for it. Anusla. It looks like that. Can you see? So I did get it a while ago. I don't know if it's changed since then, but I found it on Ravelry, and then I clicked through, and then there was a link that took me to a blog post where I believe the pattern was originally in Russian or something, and then there was a translation. So I copied that into just a Word document and printed it. So there were some written instructions, and then it's charts. And I've only just started it, so I can't really say anything about it yet, but it is lace shawl with leaf patterns, knit from the neck down. So it's a triangular shawl, so it's what do you say, symmetrical between on either side. Okay, so the original pattern does not have a central stitch, like a spine going down. And she says, I think it's a she says like, be aware of this. But I added a central stitch as a spine going down in the middle, so there will be 2 halves on each side of the central stitch. And so this is how far I got, so it's not much to show you at all. I'm working this on my carbons 3.5 mils. And the yarn is, let me grab the cake. This is Madeleine Tosh lace. I believe the colorway is Sea Wash. I got this 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Something like that. 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I'm not sure. A few years ago. So I cannot promise you that it's still available, but it is beautiful. It's a bit more turquoisey, or you know, greeny than what it looks on my screen, and lighter as well. It has depth and it's just beautiful. So I'm thinking, because I've used this for another project, so I have 60 grams left, which is, you know, a good 500 meters or so. So there is quite a lot of yarn in there. And this shawl has a leaf, you know, like most lace leaf patterns, that they sort of go, they grow from each other like that. So it grows like that, and then you have, the next chart is to, you know, finish the leaves and then fill the space in between them with like sort of a mesh, or, you know. And then there is a third chart for the edge. So I'm thinking that I'll knit this up, and then I have another yarn to use on the edge, which is this, which I think it goes quite well. This is a bit darker. This is more deeper teal than what it looks like on my screen or my viewfinder. So this is, whoa, alpaca lace, cascade alpaca lace. Yeah, I haven't started working with this yet, and I've never worked with cascade lace before, so it feels good. But yeah, I think that will work. So somewhere within the last, I don't know, I'll have to play it by, what do you say, by ear? I have to feel it when I get towards the end. So maybe I won't use up all of this, and maybe I'll change to the other color before, and yeah, I don't really know. But I think it will be good. I hope so. So I only started this yesterday, but so I'm going away for a few days next week, and so I needed some sort of vacation knitting, or travel knitting, and not just the Linus shawl. I needed something, you know, something more. So I cast this on to have sort of as my vacation project. And that's all. That's all. I did, as I said, I did spin as well this week, but I will show it to you when it's applied and done. So next week, no regularly scheduled episode. I might do a belated episode a few days late, or I will wait for 2 weeks to do like the regular. I'll keep you updated, or you'll find it if you want to find me, you know. Yeah, just, you know, no regularly scheduled episode next week, because I'm going away with my family. It's gonna be great. And yeah, the last few episodes I've skipped the segment. I don't really do segments. The favorite thing, and this week it's been a good week. But mostly, and I posted this on Instagram as well for those of you who follow me there, I got some flowers on my birthday, and they have made me so happy this week. I had a pretty rough day. Which day was that? It might have been on Monday, that my depression was just kicking my butt, and it was pretty hard. But then I was, you know, kept glancing over on the flowers, and it felt warmer within somehow. So yeah, fresh flowers, you guys. It's magical. To me, it is magical. And also this week I've just had the opportunity to look at many beautiful things. Today, as I said, I've been to different museums, just looking at beautiful things, and also on Tuesday when I was to the amusement park, I needed to, take a break from all the going in roller coasters and hanging upside down and stuff like that. So we walked around, and there is like this small, it's not a botanical garden, but it's like a garden with beautiful plantings and stuff, and it was just so beautiful and calm and beautiful, and there were so many things that I don't usually take the time to look at, because I'm usually, oh, let's write this and let's go there and and it was just, yeah, sometimes it's so easy to just rush through and forget to enjoy the beautiful small things. And it's such a cliche to say this, but it's true though. It's true that we need to just, sometimes just stop and see all the beautiful things around us, because there are so many beautiful things. Is that cheesy? I think it is, having beautiful things as my favorite thing. Maybe I'm cheesy. That's fine. That's okay. I did also finish a very, very good book that was a favorite thing. I believe it was called Let the Devil Sleep in English. I read it in Swedish for some reason. And the title could have been translated into something like Let the Evil One Sleep or something, but I think it was Let the Devil Sleep. And it was a very good book. I won't say a lot about it, because I wouldn't want to spoil you if you wanted to read it, but it is about an ex-cop getting involved with someone who's going to make a documentary series of the surviving victims of a serial killer 10 years ago. And obviously things go crazy from there. So it's not really, it's not really a thriller or like that, but it was really, really good. Really, really good. I was drawn in deeply into that book. So that was also very, very much a favorite thing. Yeah. I don't know why I feel rushed. And then just because I feel rushed, I'm trying to really, make a statement to myself in slowing down. And I don't really know why. I don't even know why I'm rushed. I don't have a lot of things to say this week though. I could blather on about the shows that I went to. But since I'm guessing most of you, I know that most of you are not in Sweden, so you won't be able to go there anyway, so yeah, but go to a museum though, it's good. Yeah, I could talk about something else, but I don't know. I wanted to say though, if you do have any questions for me or for the podcast, please ask them. You can ask them in the comments below, or you could, I've said this 100 times, there is a group on Ravelry for the podcast. It's sjomajlin group. It's very, very inactive, which is totally fine. I've said it before, I won't do any CPR on it or anything. There are so many groups to be involved with, and if it's not necessary, it won't be active, so that is completely fine. But it's up there if you want to use it. I check it sometimes. But no pressure, no pressure. But if you want to start, there is a questions thread there, or questions slash what do you want to hear about, or something like that. If you want to use that, you are very welcome. Or you could message me, or you can comment on Instagram or so, with questions for the podcast, and I'll answer them. Yeah, because I'm always, sort of stuck in the way that I think and the way that my brain works. And maybe there is something that is interesting to you that I don't even think of. that I don't even think to talk about. So ask questions if you have any, and I'll do my best, obviously. Yeah. I don't know, my brain is on vacation. That's it. So, like and subscribe and comment if you want to. Be my friend on Ravelry if you want to. Follow me on Instagram if you want to. Spread the love. No regularly scheduled episode next week. I'll see you around on Instagram and things like that though. And I will talk to you next time, whenever that is. And until then, do take care of yourself and have a good time. Bye!